Welcome to the Christian Life Coach Podcast. I'm Shanna, your Christian life coach. I help women who feel overwhelmed, stretched thin, or stuck in patterns that don't match the life God created them for. If you've ever felt that quiet tug, that sense that you were made for more than how you're living right now, that's not your imagination. That's your spirit craving alignment, peace, and purpose. Here, we start with identity, because when you know who you are in Christ, you finally show up the way you're supposed to. We talk renewed thoughts, simple habits, emotional resilience, and sustainable rhythms that help you stop surviving on scraps and start living with intention and courage. Jesus said, "You are salt and you are light." That means you were created to live differently and shine differently from the inside out. If you're ready to grow, to simplify, and to become the woman God designed you to be, you're in the right place. Life coaching is life-changing, one renewed thought at a time. Let's do this together. Hello and welcome to episode 48. Last week, I talked about decision making as self-care. And today, we are taking the next step. Once a decision is made, the next loving step that you can do for yourself is to plan for it. Planning is simply deciding ahead of time how you're going to follow through. And that matters because when you don't plan, you don't drift toward health and peace or alignment. You drift toward what's easiest, what's loudest, or the most urgent. Avoiding planning does not protect you from failure. It guarantees that drift away from where you want to be going. When people hear the term self-care, they often think about spa days or bubble baths or vacations. And those things are great, but they are not the foundation of self-care. Real self-care is taking care of your body, taking care of your mind, taking care of your emotions and your spirit and your relationships so that you can show up from a place of overflow instead of exhaustion. It's the whole oxygen mask principle. You put yours on first so that you can help others. And planning is part of that. Planning is making decisions ahead of time so that when you're tired, overwhelmed, or you're tempted to quit and give in, you're not asking yourself, what should I do right now? You're reminding yourself, I've already decided. This is the plan. And that will reduce decision fatigue dramatically. When you plan ahead, you are letting your calm, grounded, intentional self take care of your future self. That is self-care. I have often, when I have made a plan and followed through on that plan, I will say on Wednesday, I will say, I am so thankful for Sunday's version of me that took care of today's version of me. One of the biggest mindset shifts that happens with daily planning is this. You stop identifying as somebody who doesn't follow through. You stop thinking over time, why don't I ever do what I say I'm going to do? Why can't I just follow through? And you start seeing yourself as someone who usually does what she says she's going to do. The identity shift changes everything. And you don't need more motivation. You need a plan that matches the life that you want. Your daily plan lives inside a weekly plan, and your weekly plan lives inside a monthly plan, and those live inside your bigger goals. You think big, think of a funnel, you think big, and then you narrow it down into small, doable daily actions. And that is how change happens. I do my planning as part of my morning routine. I set it up as a quiet, intentional time. I look at my day and I decide, how do I want to show up today? And it's not about filling every minute. It's about being clear about what I want to focus on. Planning helps to regulate your nervous system because you're no longer holding everything in your head. You decide and you write it down. And you know what matters today. What do I want to focus on today? And you leave tomorrow's in tomorrow. You leave next week's in next week. So here's what I want you to do. Pick one decision you've already made, not 10, one. Then plan for it. Ask yourself, what am I willing to commit to doing consistently? What does this look like starting right where I am? Not where I was 10 years ago, not where I wished that I was right now, but where I am right now. What does that look like? And how can I do this from a place of love instead of pressure? One of the ways that you can do it from a place of love rather than pressure is how you talk about it. Not, I have to do this, I need to do this, I should do this. Switch that verbiage. This is what I want to be doing. I'm choosing this. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be intentional. Planning your day is an act of daily self-care. Decision making is self-care. Following through with love and grace is self-care. In the podcast resources, you'll find links to my planning pages that you can download. And my Life on Purpose daily planner is available on Amazon. That will also be in the links, as well as my Self-Care as Stewardship, a 31-day devotional. Remember that life coaching is life-changing, one renewed thought at a time. Thank you so much for being here.